having said that, a lot of the team, in terms of just follow the money, where would they go? Guys, the Ronin token might not be what you think. Okay, we're going to talk about whether it is undervalued, possibly overvalued in this video. Let's get into it. So I was sitting on Twitter and being a little hype boy, as with most other people, about Ron and how Ron is going to be revolutionary. It is such a great token. It has the #1 most gaming volume on blockchain. Okay, it is the best gift since sliced bread and melted cheese, and I'm just not sure, because I remembered there was that light paper and there were numbers scattered around, and so I've gone to, I guess, digging around, maybe not digging, but at least running some surface level numbers that most people don't, because we get all caught up on the story and excitement. Let's walk through what I think I'm seeing, but again, this is all, I want to keep a balanced view. So there's pros and cons on both sides. We're going to talk about both. All right. Now, let's start with applying some basic math. Here's something I prepared earlier, like I always do. If I can get it on the screen, there it is. Let's drag it there. Right. Real basic math. I'm going to caveat with, this is not financial advice. Do not take this as financial advice. I'm going to say it again because I have to. But I want to get your brains thinking, tingling, rather than jumping on the bandwagon and every surface level YouTube video. We want to go into substance, okay? All right, let's walk through what the calculations are showing in this here. Current price of RON, $2.72. Very easy to follow. Let's see if I can bring that back up. Here we go. We can see that. This is Australian dollar prices for you people getting excited by the spike. I'll convert this to US dollars for you so you can actually see it. $2.70 right? It was $2.72 before. That's how it is. That's an input. We've got that there. What is the total supply of RON? We have 1 billion. Where do we get that from? That is from the RON light paper. Max total supply there. Okay, that is all. We're just going to set up the input so we have verified sources for everything. Average Ronin transactions per day, 1 million. Where did I pull that from? I got out of nowhere. No, I got that right here from the Ronin mainnet. You can see it's hovering around the 1 million mark per day. All right. If you could also do that by just calculating total volume in the last 24 hours divided by price, which is about 1.2, 1.3 million. Okay. All righty. Now, what does that mean? Well, every year, let's say you average out, 1 million transactions per day. That's multiplied by 365, gets you 365 million transactions per day on the Ronin network. Okay. You with me so far? Very basic, right? I'm going to walk you through. Let's talk about the price of a RON transaction. Now, we're really accustomed, for those of us around pre-Ronin token, Axie transactions are free. Free is fantastic. We know we're used to it. We love it. But RON is here, so we got to live with it. What would be the charge per RON transaction? If you think about it from a business point of view, a simple business point of view, right? You're saying you're providing this service that allows you to transfer, SLP, AXS, ETH tokens on the Ronin network. You want to take a clip of that. So what would your business be worth? Well, your business would be worth the cash flows you get from those clips minus any cost you have. Now, it's again, just trying to frame that up. It's calculations can get a bit more serious and complicated than this. So again, I just want to keep this simple, but at least with this simple example, we can start to paint a picture. All right. So in that example, let's say there are 365 million transactions per year. Now, what do we charge for that transaction? Well, let's say we charge 5 cents. Yeah, 5 cents in this example. How much would that actually be in terms of a revenue figure, rough, right? That would be the 365 million Ronin transactions per year, multiplied by 5 cents to get you a dollar figure. And that is sitting at 18.25 million per year. You with me? Alrighty. Pause if you want to follow through. Make sure I'm not doing anything wacky, but I've checked this. I think that's right. Right. Okay. Now, what are we doing here? Well, let's take the total fixed supply of 1 billion RON, and let's divide that. Let's take the revenue and divide by the total supply to get you this 0.02. Where we want to get to is, what would the payback period be for the total supply of RON? Okay, 149 years. That's that doesn't sound right. Yeah. Now, that's way too long. That sounds completely off. Well, what you see is, as we increase the price per RON that's charged, so let's say in this case you're charging double the price. You're charging, instead of 5 cents per transaction, 10 cents. So the Ronin network is getting 10 cents back. It's effectively doubled its revenue. Okay, you're dividing it by the total supply to get a unit figure, and then we're basically bringing it to a payback year. So let me walk you through this formula just to make sure you're all on the same page, and you're not doing any freaky, and I can talk through my logic as well. So let's say that the price is fixed there. Now, what are we going to do? We're multiplying the price by the total supply to get the total value of the RON network out there. Effectively, think of it as market cap. Can't think of a better word off the top of my head, but you know what I mean. What is the value of the total 1 billion RON token supply that would be out there based on the current price, right? It would be 2.72 billion there. And then we want to divide that by the revenue. Well, why is that, right? Because every year we're going to earn 36.5 million. So if we're getting 36.5 million back, ignoring costs, how many years is that going to take for us to recoup our total investment, or the value of the 2.72 billion? It's going to take 74.5 years. And we can keep running down the table like this. So 15 cents, right? As they jack up the price per RON, what would that be? Up to 50 cents. 50 cents, you're starting to see something different. 50 cents, you get 182.5 million earned per year. Right, what is that in a unit per RON? So revenue per RON, it's about 18 cents. What is the payback period? Now you're looking at 14.9 years to pay that back. Well, shoot, that is still a long time. I've seen traditional equity projects pay faster than that, right? This is looking like, a train line or a hospital PPP project where it's pure infrastructure. It's going to take way too long, particularly in crypto. What does that mean? What can we take from that? Well, really, you take back, 3 points. There are 3 main drivers as to the value. Well, two, and one is more from your personal point of view or my personal point of view. But by far the biggest driver, well, I answered it, spoiler alert, is growth, right? Growth is the biggest factor for determining the value of RON. Growth in the network as to how many people use RON, right? If we just bump this up, let's say instead of 1 million, Axie grows. Origin comes out, it does whatever, but Landgate comes out, it wows people, it brings on a whole new ton of people, and there's now an average of 10 million Ronin transactions per day. What does that look like? That is a big difference, right? Let's look at just 20 cents per Ronin transaction. That's a payback period of 3.7 years. You increase the price there, that is now 1.5 years. That's looking a little bit more like crypto. I know everyone runs on 5-minute intervals, so it's getting closer. Now, that is, again, the biggest factor. That's something we got to keep in mind. We'll circle back to that later. The other factor is the pricing of RON transactions. Now, yeah, as you can see, this table here, all we've done is go up by 5-cent increments. I don't know what I'd be willing to pay. Would I be willing to pay 50 cents per transaction? Probably. If the price of SLP goes up high enough, 50 cents on $70 is not that much. I'm willing to spoil it. So it'd be curious what this is, but this is obviously another factor, right? You move down just on this here, these 10 step change scenarios here. There's the difference between 14.9 years and 1.5 years. And of course, the third thing, which is actually more of a personal point of view, is what is your entry price of RON. Now, I've collected all my RON by staking, so I've got to figure that out. But let's say you bought in at $2.72. Well, the risks might be a bit higher. Again, you're kind of banking on the price, mostly growth and the price of RON. My friends, that is food for thought, right? I want to bring you something different, not just, oh my God, Ron is releasing Katana and Origins is coming and there's these upgrades and we need burning mechanisms. None of that hype stuff. Look into the numbers. I want you guys to think about it. I'm going to be here thinking about other things as well. I'm going to caveat that this is not a full-blown financial model, right? There's no discount rates. I wouldn't even know how to apply a proper discount rate to Ron. There's no network effects with the broader ecosystem of Sky Mavis as well. So it is very simplistic. Hopefully we can evolve this in the future as we get more information, that we can run more financial analysis and evaluate what is a proper value for the RON token, even AXS, maybe SLP one day. Who knows what they're doing with that right now. The key takeaways from this, you probably figured out by now, growth rate is prominent. And I bet when they raised the venture capital funding, growth played a prominent piece, as with most VC-backed companies, right? You're banking on the growth. You're not banking on stable cash flows. You're banking on that uptick, rapid growth rate, which is completely possible. So this is where we're going to be a bit more balanced. Completely possible. I mean, what is the average? About 2.7 billion people from the top of my head, according to Statista, play games. Crypto, well, actually, we crypto total is about above 3 million. We know what Axies are, right? It's about 2 million people. That is like less than 0.01% of, can I math? Yes, of players that are in blockchain gaming, as a really rough estimate. I know the numbers can change by year and adjustments and how you collect data, but with that lot of margin, that you can, it's safe to say that we still have a lot of room to grow in terms of user adoption. So it is not it's not far-fetched that we can see 10x or more than that growth in the user base, but I want you guys to really keep that in mind, that is a key driver as well. Second takeaway is I'd be really curious what they price RON, how they price RON transactions, right? I remember I found it here. They picked up somewhere here, one RON transaction is likely to cost that much RON. That doesn't get us anywhere close to this scenario. So I'd be curious as to how the RON transactions eventuate, is probably safe to say. On the other side, I haven't given up on RON. I don't think a lot of us would want to give up on RON at this stage, with the growth painted. Also, with the team holding a ton of RON, this is their payday, and I'm sure where the investors' paydays are, right? So what did they issue themselves? Like 20%, 30%? If I can find it. There we go. Sky Mavis is getting 30% there. Now, there's no split between investors, so I'm guessing it's built in there. That reminds me of AXS somewhere. Well, if I can, I don't have it up. Yes, here it is. AXS, right? Yeah. Back then, it was 4% on the private sale, which is pretty much VCs or seed investors, and then 21%. So actually combined, they have percentage-wise more locked up in the RON token. I would say about the same, maybe some advisor costs are captured in there as well. So having said that, a lot of the team, in terms of just follow the money. Where would they go? They would want to build up Ron. They would have to believe that they could get their growth in user base up there, right? Well, at least they're aligned to do that if they want to get their payday, if they want to see their network grow, if they want to build an empire. So in the longer term, there's still that little bit of faith and alignment there. Just want you guys to think about it a little bit deeper, and hopefully this has been more helpful as we go into numbers rather than me just jumping up and down like a little monkey here. Let me know if this is helpful in the comments, please. If it has, drop a like. That would go a long way in helping this get the word out. I will be back with the next one. Catch you guys later.